Hey guys, it's Lon from the ECOM Zone. I'm back with another video, and the surroundings are a bit different. And I'm actually in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City right now. I have just some time to kill, so I'm going to record this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about 10 points you should consider when choosing your niche. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of which niche to choose. So what we're going to discuss in this video is 1. Your passion and interest, 2. Your ideal audience, 3. Market demand, your competition, product selection, untapped products, repeat business, credibility and trust, content creation, and seasonal niches. So this is everything you need to keep in mind when picking a niche. Now, you guys don't know already, I've been running my branded niche dropshipping store for the past 4 years now, and it's the only store I run. I've generated over £4 million in revenue with a 20% profit margin. This is what I do, this is what I teach. I have no courses, well actually I have free courses, not paid courses. I don't have any paid groups or communities, so you can find everything online on my YouTube channel. So the first thing we're going to talk about is passion and interest. Now, if you don't have the slightest interest in the niche that you're going for, then do not pick it. For example, I tried to run a beauty niche for like cosmetic products, makeup brushes, and I had zero interest in that stuff. And you know what happened? After a month or two, we were breaking even, very difficult to profit because of how expensive that industry is. So at the end of the day, we just shut it down. I just had no interest in it. So you will burn out over time, especially if you struggle to become profitable. And that was what I was experiencing with that beauty store. You'll also struggle to come up with content because you just won't care about the product. For example, you need to reach out to micro-influencers in the beauty industry, send them the makeup, talk to them as if they're your best friend. Then you need to finalize your script that resonates with your audience, get the correct clips and all that stuff. And for me, I just did not care enough about the product to go through all of that hassle. There are thousands of products out there that you can sell profitably, so you don't need to pick a niche that you're just not interested in. You'll also understand your ideal audience better if you have interest or passion, simply because you are one of the ideal customers, and so you will understand what your needs are, your wants, your problems, solutions, etc. So let's actually dive into this section in a bit more detail. So if you struggle to understand your ideal audience, you'll struggle to understand their problems they face and if these problems are even worth resolving. For example, you're trying to sell a problem-solving product for like the makeup niche. However, you don't know anything about this product. You don't know anything about your ideal audience, their problems, if they even want to solve that problem, etc. So you're really just throwing yourself into the deep end if you're choosing a niche that you just have no interest in. Another example, if you don't have kids or babies, I wouldn't run a store for babies. You just won't understand how a mum and dad thinks, where they buy from, who they trust, and trust is another big thing that I'm going to talk about later in this video. You really want to watch this video to the end so you have a full understanding of how to pick your niche. Same goes for a cat store. I wouldn't run a cat store if you never owned a cat. For the same reasons, because you don't have a cat, you won't understand cat parent problems and stuff like that. However, if you pick a niche where you are your ideal audience for your product and niche, you'll know how to sell your product better than someone who isn't their ideal audience. You'll also be able to relate to your ideal audience better just because you're part of them. You also understand the different phases of customer awareness that your ideal audience go through. And if you don't know what the different phases of the customer awareness journey is, do learn about it because it's very important when writing your copy. So the next point is market demand. You need to ask yourself, is there a real demand for your niche/products? And is there a gap in the market for you to capture? You want to check Google Trends to assess the popularity of your niche or the theme. So let's just say you want to go down the home decor niche. I wouldn't just upload everything in the home decor niche. I would choose a theme, for example, Scandinavian products, and see if that is trending on Google Trends. You want to choose a niche with a stable or increasing demand and avoid trends that are declining. And next up, we have competition. So find existing stores in your niche and identify ways to stand out from your competitors. Maybe that's a better brand, more product selection, better ad creatives, better customer experience. And there are so many other ways to stand out from competitors. It's just all about thinking out of the box. In my case, when I started my branded niche store, there were many competitors out there. However, because of my skill set, I just knew that I would crush my competitors when I launched my brand. And so for me, I had better branding, I had a bigger product selection because I have over 2,000 products on my store now. Of course, when I started, I didn't have 2,000 products, but you get the point. I then also had better ad creatives and also better customer experience overall because I was a UX UI designer. So it's all about finding out how you can beat your competitors. So next up we have product selection, which is very important because it doesn't matter if you choose a niche. If there's no products for you to upload to your niche, then you can't run a store, right? So you need to ask yourself, are there multiple subcategories that you can include in your store? For example, in my course, I was launching a jewelry brand, and there are so many subcategories that I can choose from, like necklaces, bracelets, earrings, rings, and then you've got the themes as well. You've got a boho theme, minimalist, etc. Next, you want to ask yourself, how many products can you add to your store? Then, are the chosen products saturated? So when people say, oh, is this niche saturated? That's actually incorrect. It's actually the product that are saturated. For example, if you want to go into the fitness niche isn't really saturated. It's the products that you find on AliExpress are saturated, which makes the fitness niche saturated. However, if you launch a fitness niche and you're doing print-on-demand dropshipping, where you got your own printed designs, your own artwork on vests, tees, hoodies, then your products aren't saturated and therefore your niche isn't saturated. And if you do find products that are saturated, you want to ask yourself, how saturated are they? And to answer this, you simply go on Amazon and see how many suppliers are selling that same product. If there's tons and tons of suppliers selling a similar or the same product as the one you want to upload to your store, then I'll probably avoid advertising it. Now you can still upload it to your store, but I just won't advertise it because it's just simply too saturated. Next, you want to ask yourself, are the products you choose either wow factor or problem solving products? For me, I prefer to upload products that have a wow factor instead of problem solving products because wow factor products tend to be easier to market. You also want to ask yourself about the perceived value of the products you find. For example, if you're going to upload cat toys, the perceived value is very low and you struggle to be profitable. However, if you upload like jewelry, for example, the perceived value of jewelry is much higher, so the markup can be even like 4x, 5x, 6x. And then you want to ask yourself the average order value of your products. And I always repeat this, so you really want to aim for average order value of around $50, especially if you're going to advertise those products. Now you can add cat toys to your website if you're selling cat products. However, I wouldn't advertise them because they're simply too cheap to become profitable. So aim for $50 average order value. And you also want to ask yourself, can you find these products down the road, like at their local Walmart or their local shops? And if you can find these products down the road, then it's going to be difficult to advertise and make money from them. And then you want to ask yourself, are there any alternative products out there for your products? If there are, then you may struggle to sell that product. For example, if you're selling like a handless dog leash and you type in Amazon dog leashes, you're going to find thousands of products for dog leashes that either handheld or handless. So I wouldn't really advertise that product because everyone is selling an alternative product or the same product. You then want to consider selling untapped products in your niche. So you want to ask yourself, how often do suppliers add new products in your niche? For example, the fitness niche is very saturated because suppliers on AliExpress rarely add new products into the fitness niche. I think the last winning product for the fitness niche was that push-up board that people are trying to recover again, but it's so saturated and there hasn't really been any new products for the fitness niche, and that's why I don't really recommend that niche. However, if you want to go down a print-on-demand dropshipping route for the fitness niche, then that makes sense. So another example is the jewelry niche. If you go on AliExpress, they upload so many new products in the jewelry niche, I can barely keep up with it. And this is a good sign that this niche is very hard to become saturated because of how many new products are being uploaded. So if you're lucky enough to find an untapped product on AliExpress within a jewelry niche and you're the first one to market it, then you can scale it to the moon and not have many competitors selling the same product as you. Next, we want to talk about repeat business. You want to focus on niches where customers want to come back and buy from you again and again and again. And I have so many customers who placed like 10 plus orders from my website over the past 4 years. It's insane. So you really want to build a website where they feel like they're shopping from a brand and they're buying into that lifestyle. You want to ask yourself, will customers want to come back and buy more from you? And this is why I avoid one product stores and I never recommend it, because the likelihood of your customers coming back for more products is very low, because why would they come back to your store and buy that same product again? You also want to ask yourself, can you add more products to your store to increase customer lifetime value and your average order value? And if you can, then that is a great niche to be in. Can you possibly offer subscription models? For example, every month you send them a product. So you just want to consider these points. The next point is credibility and trust, which is a very big thing when considering what niche you want to go down. So you want to ask yourself how much credibility is required for the niche that you pick. For example, a skincare product or a niche store will require a lot of credibility. Just imagine you're selling a skincare product for the face. Why would a customer ever trust your website selling a skincare product that there are thousands, if not millions of alternative products out there? So you need to ask yourself that. And how would you build that credibility and trust? So another example is baby products. Will parents trust a random store online without credibility or trust badges or the mum awards? And this is why I would never go into the baby niche. So yeah, you want to ask yourself, how can you build trust? Would you need to lie to your customers with fake reviews? And do your products need your brand or logo on the packaging or product to build trust? For example, skincare products. Do you need to put your logo on the bottle to build more credibility and trust? So these are everything you need to consider when choosing a niche. And then the content creation side. Do you need to recreate product photos for consistency in your brand? Do you need to send your products to content creators or micro-influencers or photographers for photos? So you need to consider this. For example, if you want to sell clothes, would you need to hire models and photographers? And who will edit all your photos and make them look consistent? You want to consider the time required and cost of sourcing all this content. If you choose problem-solving products, it will require you to create videos for your ad creatives and your website, and that does not come cheap. Or you can advertise simple products like wow factor products with just images and carousels, so you don't really go through that whole process to create a winning video. Because creating a really good video requires a lot of steps that people miss out when they're starting off. Even creating video creators for fashion or jewelry niche is easier than creating videos for products that solves problems. You just need to wave the jewelry around, get someone to wear the jewelry, put it on, take it out of the bag. It's very simple. So the last point is seasonal niches. Personally, I would avoid opening a store for certain events like Halloween or Christmas. They only come once in a year and you can't build a sustainable business out of them. Instead, you want to start a niche store and add these seasonal products to your store. For example, if you sell home decor products, you can have a section for Halloween products that are basically Halloween decorations for the home. And usually, beginners are too slow to launch for these events. They're also very difficult to scale now due to payment holds. And payment holds has become a nightmare for beginners because you simply can't scale your store up. Just like all these YouTubers telling you like, oh, you can scale to like 100k a month. You really can't because of these payment holds. If you scale too fast, PayPal or Shopify payments will think, is this guy trying to scam their customers or what? Where they don't send the products out. So then that's why they hold your funds until your products arrives and then they'll release the funds to you. And just imagine, if you scale your store up to like 2k a day even, or 5k a day, and those funds are being held, how are you going to fulfill your orders? How are you going to pay for your ads? And that's why I don't like seasonal niches or you guys scaling too fast, because you'll get yourself into these sticky situations where your payment providers are holding your funds. You also face disappointed customers if the products arrive too late. As a beginner, you just won't know when to cut off your ads. Ideally, you want to cut off your ads 2 to 3 weeks before the event starts. For example, Christmas is on 24th, 25th, so I would start cutting off ads around the 12th. That's like 12 or 13 days before the event. The reason for this is because your products may not arrive in time for Christmas and you don't want upset customers. And that's it guys, I hope this video helped you choose your niche. If you found it useful, do smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more content. Peace.